¿Cómo están? How's everybody? Ah, grateful to be here, grateful for life and breath. Bonjour, bonjour, everybody. How are you? I am well. Grateful. All right. We are ready to rumble. Good morning. Good morning. Now I am trying. I put the Michelle on top of my stand-up tripod. So we're gonna see how that works today. Good morning, buenos dias. All right, guys, so today, last week I had done the poll, good morning, to see what to cook. And of course, we had more people suggesting that I do the fish cakes with the avocado boats. But last week I decided to do the ratatouille. And I think it came out pretty good. But I bought these 2 avocados and I showed them to you on a short video. And I told the lady, she's like, para Domingo. He said Sunday. I said, are you sure they'll be ripe on Sunday? She's like, sure. But let me tell you, those avocados definitely are not ripe today, okay? So they're hard as a rock. We cannot make avocado boat. So what I am going to do instead is we're going to I have poached my tuna, the beautiful tuna I showed you I bought. I poached it. Oh, it looks so good. It smells so good. So I'm going to use that instead of canned salmon. Ugh. So we're going to use the poached tuna. This is tuna. I cut it, I kind of sliced it, thin, because, it was a big piece of fish like that. I sliced them, and then you have to cover it with the olive oil, or whatever oil, not vegetable oil. We don't use vegetable oil anymore. And then I put fresh rosemary. I had I put some jalapeno. I say I'm meganizing it. And I put a habanero pepper. I have parsley, garlic, and bay leaves. You're just trying to infuse flavor, okay? And then I said the oil I'm gonna save, and I can make my herb oil with that. So you already have flavored oil. You just add those dry herbs, salt, pepper, good to go. And I realized I just used the last of my garlic. I only have this left. Because what we're going to do, we're going to make the fish cakes first, put them in the fridge so they can kind of hold together, and then cut the vegetables. We're going to do roasted vegetables. So make the fish cakes, herb oil, cut up the vegetables, put them in the oven. They don't take too long, and then we'll put it together. Now, fish cakes, usually you make like a tartar sauce or some kind of a sauce to go with the fish cakes. But I don't use mayonnaise anymore. So I thought maybe we can come up with some type of a sauce that we're going to thicken with maybe a little bit of cornstarch. And then I would add some white wine. We're going to make, I've never made that. So we're just going to wing it and see how it comes. Because what you're looking for is the consistency. Hello, hello. The consistency of the sauce, because I'm on that challenge and it's working. I don't mess it up. I don't need to be introducing mayonnaise and all kind of stuff in here. So very, very little bit of carbs, but healthy carbs. I have a little bit of potatoes. I bought a pepper because I wanted that color. I'm going to also put some of that pepper in the, I have a yellow pepper in the fish cake, just really small. And we're gonna put the fish cakes on top of roasted vegetables and then come up with some kind of a sauce, okay? All right, so I did the fish, poaching while I was doing my workout because it had to cook really nice and slow. All righty, so I have my beautiful bowl here. All right, let me get Michelle activated and see if she's gonna follow me. Okay, Michelle. Ooh, 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 not like that, Michelle. Okay, that's not gonna work. Oh, well, it would work while I'm cooking. Okay, let's do this again. All right, Michelle, we gotta sit up, little girl. We can't do you like that. Okay. I was trying Michelle, and Michelle was like, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. No. All right, let's just keep it like that. Can you guys tell me if you can see? It looks like you should be able to. If Michelle doesn't move. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to drain my fish. I have a strainer here so that we get rid of all the oil. So when you're doing a fish cake, they usually have mayonnaise as a binder, right? Remember that binding is important when you do it. Like when I did the veggie burgers, I used calabaza squash, or you could use sweet potatoes to bind it. But I can't put potatoes in this fish cakes. I don't think that's gonna be a good marriage there. I'm going to make sure I keep the yummy garlic that has been poached also. Right. In the when I mash it, I want it to stay in there because I don't want to, waste anything that is yummy. You see the garlic that has been poached? I'm going to leave that in there, okay? What I don't want in my my fish is the rosemary and the bay leaves. I don't want those to get in there, okay? And you got to watch your rosemary because it tends to get into a lot of things. So, but the parsley is fine. Okay, all the goodness, I'm going to make sure it goes in there. Don't want to lose that. It's like when you cook meat and then you have that, whatever is sticks to the pot, that's goodness. You don't want to get rid of that. You want to scrape that. If you want to make a gravy, that's what you do. Okay, so that goes in here. And I decided to poach all my tuna. I bought 2 pounds of tuna for $6, which is a steal when you think of fresh tuna, right? Now, the only way I can eat not well-cooked tuna is like ahi tuna. If you go to a restaurant, I remember Carrabba's and Bonefish. Oh, I was trying to remember that name the other day. I could not. Bonefish. They make a really good ahi tuna, but they slice it real thin. Yeah, I've managed to have a little bit of that. But I decided to poach older tuna because, as I said, when I cook here on Sundays, the rest of the food is what I eat for the week. So I'm going to eat all the tuna. Can you imagine $6 for protein? That's good. That's a deal to me. And I know I'm not gonna, cook anything else. Even though I bought some chicken breasts, but I don't think, I'm just gonna. I have to get the protein, but I don't engage too much. I don't indulge too much. I cooked also some chickpeas. I soaked them overnight, I remember. Sometimes I forget. I remember to soak the chickpeas, and then today I cooked it with garlic. I put some little piece of carrots and some spine left over from spinach and what else? What else did I have in there? You know, anything to bring flavor. And of course, fresh garlic and bay leaves. So within 20 minutes, that chickpea was done. I'm like, wow. All right, so some fresh garlic with a little peel. I'm going to take it and put it in here. And you know, like I said, I magnetized it and I added some not scotch bonnet, but what is it, that pepper? Habanero. Ají chumbo, that's what they call it here. You find it at Ray and other places if you're watching from Panama. Ají chumbo. And I think Reba Smith also had them. I also posted a stewed okra that I did, and somebody said I need to do a video about that. So I will when I find it, because it's like hit or miss to find okra. It's not something that we find on a regular basis. Okay, I'm making sure I get all the little pieces of the fish, because all the little fatty part I want. That's flavor. Okay, we're good. So this oil I'm going to save to make my herb oil. Why should you not? Okay, that's a lot of fish. That is a lot of fish. All right, so now we're going to add our ingredients to the fish. To the fish. And then I have, once I form them, I have my my sheet, which is a very shallow, something shallow that you're going to. So when I mash my, here it is. All right, we're not gonna mash it. We're gonna use maybe a couple of forks and just kind of shred them open. Okay. All right. Let's see what we're gonna put in this. I'm going to put a little bit of this pepper, just because I wanted a little bit of that color. Not a lot. It's not something you usually put in fish cakes, but this is my version and it's for me. I'm the one who's going to eat it, so because I can. And that's why I say somebody can tell you that you're cheating their recipes, because if you add your own spin to it, it's not a replication, right? I don't have red onion, but if you had red onion, you could chop a little bit. Just make sure with the fish cakes that you cut whatever you're putting in here small, okay? You don't want chunks. Maybe just the parsley. So if you also had capers, maybe not mushrooms, but if you had capers and maybe olives, you could put a little bit, okay? But again, you do you. And I have some leftover jalapeno. I'm gonna take the seeds out, because you don't want fish cakes to be hot, but if it's mechanized, it needs to have a little bit of heat. Because I don't like a lot of heat, but I do like a little bit of heat. Oh, I made those chicken wings the other day, and I had a little. Oh, it's so good. I think I did make a video, so I'll post a short video. All right, this is the jalapeno. See how small I chop them? Okay. I already have some garlic in there, so I'm not gonna put any garlic. Plus, it poached in a lot of fresh garlic, so that's good. Ooh, I also have the Cologne hot sauce. Hot sauce from Cologne. I'm gonna put a little bit of that. Ooh, that stuff is so good. No rosemary. Rosemary is definitely too strong for a fish cake. All right, but you definitely need some really good parsley. Now, if I had some dill, which is something that is not easy for me to find here, I'm not going to worry about it. But that would be a good addition. Oh, that fish smells so good. Whew. All right, let's chop up some parsley. Then we're going to do salt, pepper, and of course, if it's manganized, it's gonna have to have slap your mama and a little bit of adobo, paprika. Yeah, those are my trio, my ride or die. Okay, put that in there. Now, a lot of the recipes call for mayonnaise. Now, I am not using mayo, like I said, so I am going to use panko and Italian breadcrumbs, and also, oh, onions. I need some onions. And some mustard, Dijon. Yes, we're going to put all that. But if you have dill or tarragon, those would go really well in a fish cake. I don't have that, but fresh, right? I think even if I had dry one, I would try, but I don't have. Do I have tarragon? I'll check in here. I might. But there's nothing like fresh tarragon, and right? And then again, you have to watch that you don't overwhelm the dish with any particular item. Okay? So, again, everything is going to be chopped really small. Ooh, I love my knife. I am such a happy camper. All right, let's chop this onion really small. I think red onion would do better with this one, but I thought I had one, but I don't. So it's okay. You make do. So I have one egg out, but hopefully that's enough. So I'm using an egg as my binder, okay? And I am not anti-egg. If you are vegan, use and you have, vegan mayonnaise, whatever that is. You could try that. But not sour cream and stuff like that, not with the fish. I know you're gonna say, well, why not? Well, if you want to, you can. I just don't think they go well together. But this is the beauty of cooking. No limits. You could do whatever you want. All right. And me, I want my food to taste good. So when I season, I'm going to season, and then, of course, lots of lemon juice. And of course, in Panama, we use lime. So we're going to use lime. Natural look, keep it. Okay, good. All right. What the recipe calls for too, a recipe, is some lemon zest. So I have lime, so we're gonna have lime zest. Why not? And I'm gonna have my little hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's going to give it a kick. A je ne sais quoi kick. And of course, I'm going to squeeze. This is a fish, so you got to make sure you have enough acid, lemon or lime. Okay? All right. A little bit of Worcestershire, Liam parents. Yeah, we were able to get that here. Worcestershire sauce. And like I said, we're going to mayonnaise it. The fresh ground pepper. I love pepper, so I usually go a little crazy. I have some dry parsley. Now this dish, you almost can't have too much parsley. Lemon and pepper, why not? Just because I have it, okay? You don't have to. But I like to season my food, okay? So, slap your mama. Yes. Paprika. See? Cayenne. I don't need cayenne. Let me see. I thought I had tarragon, but no. Curry, no. Sage, no. Sage goes well with poultry and so kind of me. I have 2 things of sage. Oh, okay. Coconut, no. Dill. I got dry dill. Yes. We're gonna put that in there. But fresh would have been much better, right? Fresh dill, when you're making like tartar sauce, oh my gosh, there is nothing better. It's not something I see here very often. I think I saw one in one of the stores and I almost bought it and then I was like, what are you gonna cook? I do that. I see some herbs and I'm like, oh, I want that. And then it's like, why? All right, let's see. Oh, Cologne hot sauce. Definitely. It is so good. All right. So I'm going to, now I have a little bit of the herb oil left. I might be tempted to add a little bit to that, okay? But let me take the fork and mix it and see how it tastes first. So you're gonna mix it roughly. It's like if you were doing the shredded pork thing, right? When you shred your pork, you know, when you do a pulled pork, ooh, it's been a long time since I had pork. I haven't had that in a long time, but I remember those sandwiches. Whew, people used to go crazy about those. I'm sorry, you guys. If you want me to make pulled pork, it's not gonna happen because I'm not eating that. No pork in my kitchen, no. But I've you know, moved over. I've been eating a little bit of chicken and doing good. I bought, when you guys asked me to show you how I make my my okra, I like to put a little bit of bone. So I go to the store and get beef bones. But you know, some of the beef has a little bit of meat. And last time I cooked the okra and I ate a little bit of meat, it was like talking to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I really can't eat that anymore. But the chicken doesn't hurt. The first time I had it, it was a little bit weird, but I've acclimated. Okay. So now we have our, it's like, you know, if you had crab cakes, lump crab cakes, which I haven't seen here, but I'm sure they have it. All right, let's see. It tastes good. Needs a little bit more heat for my liking, but you don't have to do that. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt. Okay. I have this dark soy. I'm just gonna put just a hint of the dark soy because I can. All right. And I'm going to use a little bit of my herb oil and put in there. I think it's gonna add it a little bit of a kick. Ooh, nice. Oh, I used all of it. I'm gonna make some more. Okay, so now we're going to add the breadcrumbs and the eggs, and we're gonna shape them. Doesn't that look good? So if you're into mayonnaise, instead of making like a tuna fish, why don't you do this and then add your mayo? Then you can have a beautiful salad. You can put it in lettuce wrap, and you'll be good. We can do that another time. Okay. Now, breadcrumb. And if you ask me how much, Maggie, I don't know. Just however much you want. Now, I prefer the Italian breadcrumb, and it's plain, to panko for this one. But I have the panko. I feel like the panko, the consistency is a bit much, but I have it, so we're going to try it. A little bit, so it's going to be a mix. And this is how the panko comes here. Isn't that cute? Small. I'm sure they have the big one that we used to. I'm going to put a little bit more acid in this fish mixture. But just season it to your taste, okay? No one can tell you you can't. A little bit of panko, not a lot. Probably going to help with the binding too. Okay, maybe about 1/3 of a cup. All right, I'm going to crack my egg. Hopefully I don't need more than 1 egg. But like I say, if you're vegan, go ahead and use, you know, potatoes, anything else you want to bind. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna need another egg. Otherwise, it's not gonna hold together because I don't have any mayo. I'm gonna be challenged here today with this. No potatoes. It's like when I was making my veggie burgers, or if you're making black bean burgers. Squeeze a little bit more acid. Yep. More panko. All right. All right. So we're going to put some parchment paper on this thing here. And okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's hope and pray that this thing holds its shape, okay? And that's why we're gonna put it in the fridge, so the cold is gonna help it a little bit. And I think if I need more, I can just add some more breadcrumbs, but I don't think no more eggs. I'm looking for like the ice cream scooper. Oh, last time I looked, I don't think I have one. Nope. That's all right. That's okay. That is okay. So we're just gonna try to make them about the same size. It's just like when you were making the burgers. You just use your hand. But if you have an ice cream scooper, it's better because they will come up about the same size. But I don't want them to be too big, but nor do I want them to be too small. Look at that. It looks good. It's holding its shape. I'm saved. I am saved. Okay? But like I said, if it gets to the point where you feel like you need more breadcrumbs, you can. Okay? So I'm going to make all these and baggy them so that I can eat them throughout the week. That's going to be my protein. 2. Okay, look at that. They look like crab cakes, don't they? They're so cute. And then just like the veggie balls, when you're handling them, when you're cooking on the stove, make sure you use a spatula because they get very delicate. Okay? So the most important thing to remember with these is that you make sure you have a binder, okay? Something to help it hold its shape. And I find that maybe I need to crush these a little bit more. Whatever you need to do to make it work for you. Okay? Aww. They're so cute. They are so cute. Yeah, you gotta use a spatula when you're handling your fish cake, your crab cake. I might need another pan because I don't want them to touch. Don't want them to touch. And then it's just a matter of forming them in your hand. Not that hard. And that's the same principle I use when I make my my veggie, what did I call them? Balls. My veggie balls. Crush that garlic in there. Nothing goes to waste, okay? So how are you ladies? How is everybody doing, huh? You good? Happy Sunday. My friend Greta, we hang out every day during the workout. She's a keeper. Her and Lynette and, you know, we have a few ladies who hang out with me. Hold me accountable, I hold them accountable. So if you can find this much lump crab cakes, usually, even when I was in the States, that was something that I couldn't afford because it was expensive. So I wasn't one to make crab cakes. But when people are like, we're making salmon cakes, and then they whip out the can, that did me in. It's like, no. I'm not eating canned fish when I can buy fresh fish. What's wrong with you? Buy the fresh thing and poach it. I just showed you how to poach it. Don't eat canned fish. Ugh. Sorry, I have my pet peeves and that's one of them. Oh, look at that. You see how it holds its shape? Yes, you can do this. Oh, there's a piece of rosemary. I'm trying not to have to use another pan, but I don't know if I can. Be diligent. You can form it in your hand, in your palm. If you were doing the balls, you would just roll it between your hands, right? Okay, nice. I might be able to make it. Let's see. We got 2 more after this. We're gonna put, maybe we're gonna put them there. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. They're so cute. But you know, when you're doing live, what if something goes wrong and the whole world sees it? Like, oh no. But you know, I don't get embarrassed very easy. You know, I do my best, and if it falls short, then it's like, oh well, we are humans, right? You know, it's like I was reading Coco Gauff. She had been on a winning streak. Everybody, you know what? This media, they're just so fickle. I mean, it was like Coco this, Coco that. Well, she had a loss. Oh my God. They're dragging this little girl. So now it's like how quickly the love turns to hate. Oh my gosh. This world is so crazy. Oh, will it stay? Ooh. Okay, one more and we are done. Oh my gosh. We did it, guys. We did it. Fresh poached tuna cakes. Now that's something. No, I can't taste that because it's got the raw eggs in it, and I don't do raw eggs. You know, during the week when I don't have any protein in the house, I'll cook eggs. If I crack the eggs and I cook it, you know, like I'm gonna scramble it or whatever, I have no problem. But when I boil it, I can't eat the yolk. I don't know what it is. All right, we did it. Last cake. Oh my God, we got like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cakes with 2 pounds of tuna. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad, Maggie. Okay, I think I'm gonna take this off and put it over here because it's a baby. And then we're gonna put this one up here. All right, we got 12 fish cakes and we're done. Ugh. All righty. Oh my gosh. We did it, we did it, we did it, we did it. Okay, so now put the crumbs back. Breadcrumbs and panko. Go back in. All right. So now I'm gonna cover these and put them in the fridge for the time it takes me to, there we go. That's gonna go in the fridge, okay? All right. So now we're gonna do our veggie. We're gonna do the herb oil first, and then we'll do the veggies. Okay. So I bought this. I think Greta was asking me to show what we can do with the, what do we call it again? Now see, my mind is going blank. The, you will come to me. She wanted me to show her how to use that. So now, in the fish cakes, I could have added like spinach, but it's kind of like pushing it, okay? So what I want to do now, let's make the herb oil first. We are going Swiss chard. You see how my brain works? It takes me a few seconds to remember to put the name. Long crab cakes are expensive. Yes, ma'am. It's like, I could not afford it. So, you know, I'm not ashamed to say I can't afford something. I can't. So I'm not going to pretend that I can. So now I'm going to strain. Let's see, do I have a small strainer? Oh, it's big. Okay, we're gonna strain some of that herb, some of that oil. Ooh, I'm gonna make a big mess, Maggie. All right, we got it. We're gonna strain some of that. That's from the poached tuna. I'm gonna put in there as much as I can. Just leave room for the dry herbs. There you go. And then I'm gonna use this oil for anything else I'm cooking, right? So now I have all the dry herbs here. You know, I always chop some rosemary. This rosemary has lasted a long time. I'm just so thankful. Because usually it goes bad really fast. And when they're dark, I don't use them. But, so good. I think I'm gonna also chop some jalapeno just because I have them here, right? I'm gonna put in there with some fresh garlic, and then the rest of it is all dry. Now when I'm doing the roasted veggies, I'm not shy with the rosemary. I find that it works really well. So in with the veggies, I'm gonna put some onions in there, carrots, the rest of the peppers. I have some calabaza squash, and I also have some potatoes. So we're gonna do all that, and then I'm gonna cook the Swiss chard on the stove, Greta. And then once the veggies are done, then we're gonna chop the Swiss chard. We're gonna mix in, just gonna give us that pop of color. Thank you. Swiss chard. I remembered it. It was like 10 seconds. Oh my gosh. Yes. So the Swiss chard, you could have cooked it and added it, with your fish if you wanted to. Or, and I also have some spinach. Yeah, we can do that. But the Swiss chard's been in my fridge for a week, so I need to cook it first. I'm surprised it hasn't gone bad because they don't last a long time. All right. And I have 2 cloves of garlic left. Whew. I feel naked here because I very rarely run out of garlic because that's something that I make sure I have in my kitchen. Always have garlic, fresh garlic. And I told you, somebody said they come from China, and I'm like, well, you know what? I don't worry about things that I cannot control. And it's like, and I have a friend who's like, oh, do you see what's in there? They come from China? And I'm like, girl, if you worry about what comes into your food, the whole food chain is messed up. Yeah. Fish. They refuse to get fish from the sea. They have to get those big old tanks and put all that mess in it. Only God is keeping us safe. The stupid thing that they do to our food. Yes. So any ideas for next week, guys? I think I'm out of ideas for next week. But it has to be healthy, no carbs. So yesterday, 2 days ago, I went to dinner with this friend. We went to I think it's like a French restaurant. And I think once before, I had a grilled chicken with quinoa. They call it the quinoa salad. I mean, I wouldn't call it a salad, but it was pretty good. But because I was bucking the carbs, I couldn't have it. So I had a salad, and I destroyed the chicken. I'm like, oh, you could have done such a much better job with that chicken. Chicken breast is one of those things, if somebody messes it up, I get mad. Because you can't. You overcook it, you get it too dry. It shouldn't take long. You can pound it a little bit, and it cooks in a jiffy. You don't need to season it that much. And when you mess it up, I get mad. I do. But I didn't tell him anything. Usually my daughter is like, Mom, don't embarrass me, Mom. If I critique the food. She just said she's coming in July. And I'm like, well, you better eat at home. I'll feed you. All right. Lots of black pepper. Whew. My pepper is almost done. Look at that. Is anybody making the herb oil at home? Now that you've watched me make it so many times. Anyone? You have to tell me that you make it, otherwise I'm gonna feel sad. So I'm putting a little slap your mama in there today. Basil, ooh, basil, I love basil. Put basil in here. Parsley. All right, dill, no. Salt. Now, this herb oil usually requires a generous amount of salt, okay? So don't be stingy. Oh, my red pepper flakes. I'm running out. Thought I had some back here. No, I see achiote. You know, achiote here in Panama, we use a lot of that. It's apparently the seeds of some kind of a plant, and when you put it like with your peas, your beans, it gives it a red color. I have not used it yet, but I will. I just bought a little bit so I can try it. All right, so whatever I have in my little thing, fine herbs, a lot of oregano, always on top. Culantro, of course. Now, when I go to the store and they have the thing where they have all the dry herbs, and these little ones are usually really, really cheap. Like $50, $60. This is thyme. Definitely thyme. Lots of thyme. Peppercorn, no. I could smash it if I wanted to, but I don't need to today. Let's see. Do I have everything in here that I need? I think so. All right, let's shake it, shake it. Ooh, ooh, I'm making a mess. It wasn't tight. All right, let's clean this up. Making a mess. All right, so, well, let me make sure it's got enough salt. Ooh, I made a big mess with this today. I need another bottle. Herb oil. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I didn't put the jalapeno. Oh, it's so good. Wow. Delicioso. See. Those were for the fish. Gotta take that out. All right, we're gonna cut the veggies. All right, so we're gonna peel the potatoes last because they're the one that tend to oxidize. So carrots, potatoes, peppers, onions. What else did I say? Potatoes. Potatoes. Huh. Okay. you're doing the vegetable medley, you want your veggies to be a little bit on the thick side. This is not the time where you're going to have them small and small dice. And when I cook, like I say, I cook enough because that's my meals for the rest of the week. So you help your meal. It's like when there was to be a trend where people did a lot of meal prep, you know, if you work, you had a family, and then you do meal prep on Sundays. I never really liked that. I'm thinking, I work 5 days a week, and then I have to spend a whole day Sunday. Saturday, I clean, I cook. I clean, I shop. And then Sunday, spend a bunch of my time prepping. I didn't like that idea. I was like, no. So for this one, I'm cooking them. I think there's a way we used to call that in culinary terms. So, oh, I forgot what they call it. Is it on the bias? There's a term for it. How you cook, cut the cut size. So we're going to do this. I don't know if I put the potatoes. How about like these little small potatoes? You know what I can't find here? The little small red potatoes? I've been chasing them. I can't find them here. I used to love those when we made roasted potatoes or even potato salad, but I don't see them here. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this. This and then like this, and then so like that. Like Tabitha says. All right, Tabitha, don't sue me. I just think it's funny the way you say it. Gonna do it so like that. Maybe I can do the soft peppers next week. What about a dish with smoked rice using a piece of smoked fish with the stir-fried veggies? No rice, we can't do rice. Gravy, ooh, no rice, I'm bucking grains. I discovered that I have a grain sensitivity, almost like, what they say these people have, gluten. I feel like I may have a gluten sensitivity. So I'm staying from all grain, even though I think you can have rice, because it's just like, it's wheat. But when I eat rice, even quinoa, my face swells up, the rest of my body, and then I retain fluids. So I'm staying away. And I feel better. You know, after I eat, usually my belly starts getting big, and it's like, and listen guys, when you're young, you don't have a lot of things. You start getting old, and everything starts to go sour. You develop sensitivities you didn't have before. You're like, what is going on? I can't tell you. It's like the body has a mind of its own. All right, so we're gonna peel. You gotta be careful with the squash, because the peel can be hard and it's easy to cut yourself. So be careful. So we're gonna cook the roots. We're gonna toss them in some of that herb oil. And then when they're almost done, we'll cook the spinach. We'll chop it kind of small with the twist chard. And then we're gonna toss them together as we cook our fish. And the squash, what I like about it, it cooks really fast. And then this is what you can put in your soups. And then once they cook, you mash a few on the side of the pot, and it thickens the soup. Ooh, I love squash. I'm a squash baby. And I know you can find that anywhere in the country. Here, I know in the US we have plenty of them. And that's why I like to buy them open. You see how beautiful that is? The color is just perfect. So we have a soup that we make in my country called soup joumou. We make it, I can make it here, but it calls for potatoes and stuff that I don't want to put in my soup. But the squash, definitely. But you gotta use meat. Oxtail goes really well with that soup. Ooh, you got that squash and all the veggies and oxtail? Sign me up. Yes. Because oxtail is so bony, and because the flavor of your soup comes from the bones. So, love that. You know what I'm missing here? Well, we're gonna put the green in there. But like Brussels sprouts, yes, I like to put Brussels sprouts in this one. It gives me that nice, especially roasted Brussels sprout is amazing. They have it here. It's a bit pricey, but we have that. I've seen it. And I bought it. And used it. Asparagus is super expensive here. But I think it's expensive everywhere, right? All right, I'm gonna turn the oven on just so that it's hot and ready for us. Okay. Ooh. We're gonna sit that fish cake on top of this. That's the winner. You get to play with your food, ladies. You're allowed. Just remember, you want contrast. When you plate, you want different colors. Don't let all your food look the same. Ooh. Sometimes I see people post their food and I look and I'm like, why would you put this in public? It looks awful. Yeah, don't do that. Make people like me talk about you. Don't do that. All right. Oh, potatoes now, potatoes. We're not doing the cabbage today. Well, where are the potatoes? I bought some really small ones. En los veo, las papas. ¿Dónde están las papas? ¿Dónde están? Corazón. What in the world? Don't you get miffed when you know you bought something and you can't find it? I'm just miffed here. I don't know where my potatoes went. Small potatoes. Wow. Okay. Okay. But I had one. So we're going to use that. I'm going to put some jalapenos in there too. Huh. Here they are. I know I wasn't losing my mind. The sweet little potatoes. When you go to Merca, Panama, they have them even smaller than that, and they call them something different. So small. So I don't even have to cut them, maybe in half if I wanted to roast them. Amazing. I love that. And the reason I'm peeling the potatoes last, I think I said that. They tend to oxidize. So because when the air touches the skin, they go brown. That's why when you peel potatoes, you want to put them in a little bit of water with a splash of lemon to keep them from getting brown. Okay? But when I cook red potatoes, I don't usually take the skin off. But, they have the fingerling potatoes, or what do they call those potatoes again? The little yellow ones. Oh, they look so beautiful. I love that. All right, we're gonna put some jalapeno in there, or maybe let's put it in there. And See. Squash, zucchini, and stir-fried cabbage. Ooh. That's what you want me to cook, or you've made that, Greta? Gracias for the kitchen. You know, I tell people when I'm looking for an apartment, I haven't been in an apartment until I came here. When I first got married, we got an apartment, and after about a year or so, I think we bought our house, or maybe not a year, but I haven't rented in a long time. So looking at a place, the first thing I say, let's look at the kitchen. I don't care about anything else. The bedroom could be small. I only sleep there, but I spend time in my kitchen. So the kitchen has to fit. And in this one, I wanted the kitchen to face the big glass so I can see out in the water, on the water. That's what I want. So I'm looking here, I'm looking at a boat passing. That's what I wanted. So, but when I go to my other apartment, if I ever live here, I may not have a view. Whew. I'm mourning already. But you know what we are here talking about with the sisters is how to downsize and control our costs because of all the craziness and all the threats going around. You know, we're thinking if Social Security was ever, whatever, somebody in their power decide to do, then we have to have a way to sustain ourselves as older folks. So we're trying to downsize and make sure we are in a situation where we could, you know, function. We're doing the same thing with our potatoes, trying to make sure things are about the same size. You don't want to have multiple different cuts in your dish. All right. Okay. So now I have the jalapeno. Don't you love him? I love jalapeno peppers. So what I want to do for this one here, sometimes I can go in there and get the seeds out. Sometimes. I'm going to loosen them up. Take the seeds out. Because that's where the heat is. If you get a pepper, the heat is in the seeds. If you take the seeds out, then it's not going to be too hot. Okay? And I know, Greta, you have lots of jalapeno where you are. Learn to love them. And you know, we can even stuff them up and then slice them. Oh, game changer. So good. I put this one in. It's just going to add a little bit of color, okay? So these are our veggies. The oven is on. So let's see if I don't make a mess with this thing here. Then I'm going to put a generous amount of my herb oil in here. We're good right there. Okay? And then for some reason, I like to squeeze a little bit of acid in my vegetables because you heard me say acid makes everything taste better. Huh? Look at that. Oh, isn't that pretty? Wow. I get excited. And then look at that. Look. Okay, so I have this prepared. We're just gonna drop this in here and let it cook. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, in the US, these are like your fall colors for vegetables, but it's only May, so we're gonna spring-size it. Here we go. In the oven it goes. So I'm going to put this on 400, okay? Because I want this to cook rather quickly. All right. So now we're gonna cook our fish cakes. And while the fish cakes, once they're cooked, and I let them sit, then I'm gonna have to try to figure out some kind of a sauce for those fish cakes. Now that's gonna be true creativity to come up with a sauce that will go with the fish, that is not like a tartar sauce, that is not mayo based. Are you excited to see what I'm going to come up with? I don't know yet. The sauce we made for the chicken breast the other day, let me tell you, that white wine, it made the dish. I mean, you pour it on top of that chicken breast, and you have that Parmesan in the batter. I went back because I bought the chicken breast and I wanted to recreate it for me. Jalapeno and Swiss chard. Oh my God. Okay, we will do that. And it was just crazy. I couldn't get it. Could not. Whew. But anyway, let's get our fish cakes out. I'm sure it's been a good 25, 30 minutes. Gotta get my spatula. You know, I did a class one time to tell people the basics that you need in your kitchen, and this is a must. If you cook fish or anything, you need a spatula, and they're not expensive. All right, so let's put this away. I still have oil left that I have to find a container and save the oil for whatever I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna have all that goodness. Let's look at all that oil with all the aromatics. All right. Now, when thinking of a pot to cook I don't think I need any more of this oil. I might have to find another container for my herb oil. I messed it up by splashing some of that oil. In trying to think of what to cook the fish cakes in, I thought of using my my cast iron, but because I think the fish is so delicate the way I'm gonna have to handle it, I think I'm gonna use a different pot. Okay, one that doesn't have the harsh bottom, because my cast iron is a bit rough. So let's see. I'm going to I'm gonna use not this one. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try this one. I think it's the correct size and it might work better. I have another one that is wider, but then the heat tends to concentrate in the middle and it's easy to burn it, and we don't want that. Okay, you guys seeing okay? All right, then we're gonna use some of that good oil. I am gonna top it a little bit with a little bit of butter, not a lot. Oh, I think I put a little bit too much oil. I mean, I'm cheap when I shop, but I can't scrunch on butter. You have to have, it's either the Kerrygold or that New Zealand butter here. New Zealand unsalted butter. That is a good brand here. But I think, you know, the pound is like $8.99 or something. I mean, they're not cheap, but that's the kind of thing. If you're gonna buy, you know, it's like buying good olive oil, buying good butter, buy the good stuff, okay? Please do not use margarine. I can't believe it's not butter. It's not good. Oops. It's not healthy. All right. Ooh. But you know, I remember when I was in school, we used to make an herb lemon butter sauce. And that was a challenge because if you don't know how to do it right, the lemon juice would break into the butter, and we used to get grated, and they used, I don't even know if I ever made it right because it was always, oh no, you broke it. You got to go back. Yeah, the chefs used to be good at telling us that. Okay, yeah, I think I put too much oil in this pan. So I am going to take some of it off because I don't want my fish cakes to be oily, okay? You just want to have a little bit. So I'm taking a little bit of that off because I can. Okay? All right, so this is gonna be medium heat. You can't burn it. All right, here we go. Our beautiful cakes. Oh, I'm so proud of myself the way they came out because it's easy to break your cakes. Okay. Very easy. But putting it in the fridge is key. It kind of helps the binding to tighten up. So that's gonna take about 3-4 minutes on each side. So we're just doing 2 batches, right? Now, I need a little oil in the middle. Good thing I can use this oil, right? What's the matter? Why are you splashing? Why are you splashing? All right. Now, maybe I can take another pan and plan and play around with the sauce. Now, I don't have any more garlic, which is okay. I can fish some from this here, if there is any in here. And I'm gonna use some of that little oil here. Let me get another pan and then we can play over here. And the white wine is there, it's ready. All I know is that it has to be a white sauce. It can't be something with barbecue sauce or oh, the Swiss chard. We can't forget the Swiss chard. All right, let me get the Swiss chard ready instead. Let's do that first. And as you know, I know Greta loves Swiss chard, and it doesn't take a long time to cook. Greta, we're just going to chop it though this time, and then we're gonna rinse it and have it sitting here waiting for us. Cool? Okay. Mama knows her recipe. Oh, I don't know. All right, let's get the Swiss chard. You know, I was raving about getting a huge bunch for like $1. I don't remember what the price was, but they got the bag smaller. They're like, oh, she likes it that much. Let's shrink it. I was not happy when they did that. All right, Greta. Let's put your Swiss chard. All right, I think I can increase the heat a little bit. Yep, not ready to turn yet, but all right, Swiss chard. Now, I can save these for when I make stock. So I always save those, whether I'm dealing with broccoli or something else, or even what is the thing that you guys like? Not spinach, but here we go again. My foggy brain. Kale. Do you guys see the delay in my brain? Oh my word. If I didn't know better, I'd be concerned. Slow synapses. All right. We're gonna save these for, and I do put them in a baggie, and when I'm ready to make stock, I just throw them in there. Okay. So now we're just chopping the Swiss chard. Not fine, right? But enough. All right, so now we're going to leave it here. And when the fish is done, I'm going to use that pan and just toss them in there. Beautiful Swiss chard. Oh, they look so cute. You know, I got lucky because usually things don't last here. The veggies, when I buy in here, it's like I have to hurry and use them. Okay, let's go back to the fish cakes. We're gonna turn these. Okay? And then I don't have to show you the rest of it, but we're gonna be playing with the, oh, that's just too hot. We're gonna be playing, whew, don't burn my cakes now. We're gonna be playing with, I have to be careful with this burner and these pans. If you're not careful, it's gonna burn your stuff. But now you have to be real gentle with your fish cakes. Hágalo suavemente. Oh, excelente. Vamos. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at that. But you have to be careful when you flip them, okay? So you don't lose them. And monitor your heat. And I tell people that one of the first skills you learn as a cook is to control heat, temperature. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Yes. All right. So now we're gonna let those finish cooking. Let me get a plate ready for them. Yum, yum. Sorry. Quick, ready for the fish cakes. And then we'll do the second bag. All right. Now veggies. Okay, now find another pan. I'm going to use one of my new cast iron. They are pre-seasoned, so I didn't have to season them. But let's see what I can come up with. Oh my goodness, that's pressure. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we'll add some jalapeno for color. We're gonna put some parsley. I have some onions. Alright. Okay. I love lots of onion. That's why I always have onions in here. So few more minutes. I'm trying to see what the cut's supposed to be. I like the onions to be like round, but I only had half, so I couldn't get it round. All right, so we're gonna put that in here. It's not warm yet, but it's getting there. So, and I'm going to get the cornstarch ready because that is what is going to help. Okay, this one's done. I'm taking those fish cakes out. We're getting ready for the second batch. But now, they have held their shapes. We're good. I'm snacking on whatever is falling off. Let's control this until I can get through it. We're going to use some of that oil, same oil. Oh, I know why it's splashing. There's a little bit of that fish, whatever. Okay. Little bit of butter, just a little bit. And when you cook the chicken breast, you also want to make sure you add a little butter to your oil. Okay. Well, I think we're saved with the with the fish cakes. They came out good. I didn't embarrass myself online. Okay. So again, because we have the oil, let's use some of that oil here. All that flavor, right? Beautiful. Now I'm gonna seed that jalapeno like I did the one before. Remember? You just take the bottom of a fork and you go inside and you go round and round and round to loosen up the inside, and then you just shake those seeds out. Yep. See? Yep. Now this sauce is not gonna take long, and I have some stock in there. Now let me see if there is any garlic in here since I'm out of garlic. But if you have fresh garlic, go ahead and smash some. No, none. Oh, in my peas. Oh yeah. These are my chickpeas that I cooked last night. I have some garlic in here. Now you see how you have to be inventive when you're cooking, because things may not work out exactly like you see. Look, listen, look how plump and juicy those chickpeas are. You don't need to buy the canned stuff. You see, Maggie said don't buy canned chickpeas. You soak your chickpeas overnight. In the morning, it takes 20-30 minutes to cook. You add your aromatics and you're good to go. I was gonna roast some of that chickpeas, but probably too much. I think the Swiss chard is gonna be enough for my dish. You know, when you're putting your dish together, sometimes less is more, okay? Don't get yourself caught up in doing too much. All right, and one other thing too, I never like you see how glistening that onion is? I never like my onions to be overcooked. No bueno. Okay, so what I want to do now is increase the heat. I'm gonna season it, then I'm gonna put the wine in. Oh, that's nice. Now, because I want a white sauce, no paprika in this one, okay? And, oh, that looks good. Now we need, let's see, maybe a little salt. So it's got enough heat. It's got the jalapeno, so don't put any more heat in there. Okay. So I'm going to increase the heat and then burn off that white wine. And here forget my fish cakes. Don't want to burn them. You gotta have your eyes everywhere. Oh, yes. Don't burn the fish cake. Oh. Woo. Looks yummy. Look at those. All right. Here I have a Pinot Grigio. Usually I like Chardonnay because I like to keep the Pinot Grigio for me. But, so you turn the heat up. Ugh. Smells good. So I'm gonna let the wine burn up a little bit. Then I'm going to just make sure it tastes okay. I'm gonna put some acid, and then I'm gonna throw some cornstarch in here to thicken it a little bit. So it's not gonna be a white sauce, it's gonna be more like a clear sauce, because you know what I didn't put in the fish cakes? I didn't put any of my mustard. So I'll add it in here instead. Why not? Because I can. So. So I have my stock there. Gonna get this cornstarch ready. Ooh, 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 ooh. And my veggies, doing good. A little bit of cornstarch, just to thicken my sauce. Because you don't want your sauce to be too thin, okay? All right. Whew. So I think I'm going to turn the heat off under the fish. So now I'm going to add a little bit of that Dijon. I forgot to add it to my fish. So I am going to add the Dijon in here. Now I could leave the, let all the wine burn off, but I want that taste. So I'm gonna let it all burn off. I'm just gonna put my my stock in now. Okay. Now I have a lot of fish cakes, so I want to be sure I have a generous amount of gravy. These are stock that I made from home, homemade veggie stock. I prefer to have veggie stock at home because I don't ever have to worry about, you know, what I'm gonna put it in, because not everything needs chicken stock. So if you do veggie stock, you're safe. All right. Yeah, I don't like my kitchen to be messy. Okay, so you see how it's white? That's what I want, because it's gonna go over my fish and I don't want it to be red. It doesn't have any adobo, so it needs a little something else, and then lots of lime juice. And once I do that, and then sprinkle some parsley, oh, maybe dill. Dill would look good, because I would have had to put the dill in the other sauce. Okay, yep. Maybe just a tad salt. Put it in my hand, I don't want to put too much. Got a little tang to it. Remember the jalapeno. Okay. Now let's squeeze some lime juice. When you have fish, you can't ever have too much lemon. I guess you could, but I just like to have generous amount of lemon or lime juice. Okay. Cornstarch. We call this a slurry, right? A slurry is what you put to thicken whatever sauce you have, and you want to thicken it. And it doesn't have a taste to it, so it's not gonna, affect the taste of your dish. Okay, there we go. That's the consistency I want. Okay. All right. We are good. That's what I wanted. You see the consistency? That's what I want to go over my fish. So we are good. Yes. Yes. Okay. It needs something. I'm not sure yet what it is. More salt. I don't like to put too much. The fish doesn't have a lot of salt. Ooh, I'm very happy with the gravy. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a turkey gravy? Gotta be inventive. It's actually pretty good. All right, leave it alone. All right. So I'm gonna leave that there. Now we're going to use the same dish here to toss our Swiss chard that we're going to throw in our vegetables. This is why you don't want to put too much oil in your pan when you're frying those cakes. It just soaks it up. Okay? But if it's good olive oil and a little bit of butter, it's not going to hurt anything. Right? Oh, I need to take a picture of my fish cakes. Tuna steaks. And I don't want to say tuna fish because it's not tuna fish. But tuna steaks. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Yeah. Got to take a picture. When I go eat with someone, before they touch their food, I'm like, hold up. They say, oh, you gotta take a picture. You're so silly. Oh, they look so good. The fruit of my labor. Alrighty, let us cook the Swiss chard. A little bit of that oil again. You see, nothing gets wasted here. Nothing is being wasted. And there's a little bit of that fish in there, so it tends to splash a little bit. All right. So we turn that up. And where are you, little Swiss chard? We just throw it in there. And Greta, it takes no time. I'm cooking the whole thing just because I don't want to have to worry about it in the fridge. Like I said, it's been here about a month. I'm just shocked that it's still green. Usually they turn, they go bad. Broccoli goes bad fast. The spinach here is a little bit hardier. Is that a word? Hardier? Oh goodness. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna plate this in. Ooh. Steam. The potatoes, the veggies in there look amazing. And they're tossed in all that good herb oil. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what eating well looks like. That you enjoy preparing your food, you enjoy eating it, you put your love into it. Aw, that's my therapy, seriously, I'm telling you. The problem I have is if I'm concerned or I'm stressed, then if I cook, let me tell you, let me show you these little things that I eat, that I love to eat. These little chow mein things, they cost like 80 cents. And then you put a little water here, you put a little salt, and you throw them in there once the water boils. I'm telling you, within 3 minutes, they're done. So you just toss them in a little butter, or if you have some marinara, and you're good to go. So when I am stressed, I do 2 of these at a time. And they don't like me. They're good when I'm eating them. Then my face starts swelling up and my belly, and it's like, oh, you did it again, Maggie. You did it again. So now, you see how it goes down really quick? Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna put a little adobo on it and a little acid, and we're good. I'm not even going to put any more peppers in here, a little acid, and we're good. I have a bag of limes for decoration, so we are ready. Oh my goodness. Yes, we are done. Because we don't want our Swiss chard to lose its color, right? Okay. I kind of like to drain them. I don't like all the liquid in them, so we're gonna let them touch the liquid. Yeah. Look at that. All the water that's coming out of it. Ooh, more so than spinach. Look at that. And then that's good liquid. I could put that in my veggie broth, right? So that when I'm cooking the next meal, I have more. Don't throw that away. That's flavor. Okay? All right. So now let me see. We're going to turn that off. Everything is off here on the stove. The veggies. Here are the veggies. That's because the burner is still hot. Look at that. All right, let's move that over and bring them up here where it's not so hot. Woo. Come on, come into the kitchen. Here we go. All right. Ooh, what did I do? Did you see that? You see the veggies? How beautiful they look. And I gotta take another picture. Look at the veggies. Huh? Okay. So let's make sure everything is cooked. Try the potatoes because I think everything else is cooked faster. Okay. Wow. Okay. Ooh. So we're gonna throw the Swiss chard into the veggies. We're gonna toss them together. I don't want all the liquid. Look at that. Oh my goodness. All right, so that's what we're going to plate. And we're going to put the fish cakes on top and pour some of that gravy on the fish because, you know, they're a little dry. You don't want to eat dry food. That's another pet peeve. Sometimes I see people plate and everything is dry next to each other. And I'm like, how do you eat that? All right. So, here we go. Because you want to add contrast to your food, right? Ooh. My goodness. My goodness. Oh man. My goodness. All right. One more picture. Then we're gonna plate. Ooh, it looks so good on camera. Oof. All right, so now we want a white plate again for contrast. Okay, and you know I'm challenged with the plates. I'm still looking for that, I think I'm gonna do this one. I'm still looking for that big dinner plate. I guess I could use that. We're gonna fill our bowl with our veggie mix. Ooh, jalapeno, you have carrots, you have squash, you have potatoes, you have peppers. Oh man, carrots. Guilt-free eating, okay? You do not feel guilty when you eat this. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Okay. Yes, I'm looking for a big, you know, large plate. So now we're gonna put our fish cakes. Maybe we'll do 2. Remember, when you're plating, you're looking for elevation, okay? And we're gonna put some of that yummy gravy that is nice and thick. We're gonna put some of that on our fish with the onions and the jalapeno. So now we're gonna decorate with some lime slices, just because. Now, if the avocado was ready, I would use it, but it's not. Lime is abundant here. And I go to get the Subway, and there's a guy who's always selling them, you know, in a bag. I think yesterday they had 8 for $1, which is totally a good price. Usually it's like 4. So when they give me 8, I know there are no holidays in sight, because otherwise it would be, all right? I have the lime there, so we're gonna get maybe a twig of cilantro. I can't put a twig of rosemary because rosemary raw we don't eat. And I can hear the chef. Do not put anything on the plate that's not edible. So, I remember. Isn't it amazing how you remember certain things about your teachers? Yeah. I had that chef. He used to be a butcher. Ooh. And I remember one day they brought the little suckling pig. I hid in the back. I'm like, oh no. He's like, Maggie, what are you doing back there? I'm like, I'm good, chef. I can watch you cook that little baby pig. No, I don't do that. When they had the lobster, and then they take the live lobster and they threw it in the thing. I couldn't do that either. In the hot water, in the boiling water. I said, but it's alive. And the chef said, okay, what is wrong with you? I said, I can't kill it. All right, ladies, you have your fish cakes, tuna, fresh tuna cakes on a bed of veggies, roasted veggies, and voila. Voila, voila. Yes. So if you had a bigger plate, it would even make more of a statement, because when you have more white spaces around, it's exaggerated, okay? I don't have that. Are you knocking, Greta? Always remember, you want elevation and you want layers when you plate, okay? And that beautiful. I wish I had like dill, fresh dill. But listen, you eat with your eyes, okay? Yeah. Did you enjoy that? I think it was like a long one. Oh, it's not even 2 hours yet, but it felt like it was 2 hours. But I just love to cook. What can I say? I love cooking. That's my therapy. Swiss chard tomorrow, yes. You know what? You can even chop the Swiss chard and cook it on the stove in the 2 minutes you see, and add it to your eggs. Whatever protein you have, put it on the side. You can throw it inside. You can also put it in your quinoa. It's such a versatile, easy to cook veggies. You can do that. So don't be shy. Just try it all kinds of ways. All right, guys. Now, remember now, I have all of this to snack on for the rest of the week, okay? That's my protein for the week. So, this is the baby one. The jalapeno. I can taste the cologne hot sauce. And it's fresh tuna. Oh my gosh. And if you're into like a tartar sauce, if you can make it, you're into mayonnaise, you dip it in. Listen, if you do that, you can put the Swiss chard on the side. And then you see how easy it was to roast those veggies? No excuses. And it takes no time. The fish cakes are amazing. All right, ladies. Thank you for hanging with me, and gentlemen. If there are gentlemen, I'm gonna take a picture so I can have enough material for my cookbook. All right. Are you going to freeze the others? Yes. I'm putting them in baggies, maybe two in each baggie, so that when I'm ready to eat, I'll just take them out the night before, put it in the fridge so they'll thaw out. And then don't microwave them, because if you microwave them, they're gonna get soft and stuff. Put them like in a toaster oven or in your oven, for a few minutes, just to keep them crisp. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you, John. Cooking is therapy. It's a passion for most of us. All right? Okay, guys, I'm sorry I kept you long, but hopefully next week will be a little quicker. But I always say you can't rush perfection, okay? Maybe if I find some okra, I'll cook that. Okay, you have a good day. Au revoir, la prochaine. Bye.